Hi Gemini, welcome to your Capricorn season reading. This month becomes a very obsessive time for you. Whether you find yourself completely obsessed with a goal that you have, a person that you're into, an idea, or you just start to feel like the world around you is deeply obsessed with you. Ideally, you are able to use this focused intensity of your 8th house, the sun in Capricorn, starting on December 21st to January 19th, to make some big changes. The 3 of Wands and the Sagittarian card. Until January 8th, you still have the sun in, or you still have Mercury in Sagittarius. You can use the beginning of Capricorn season to move forward without hesitation, with confidence, with clarity, but also with a clear mission. You can go bigger, further, without feeling too much emotion about changes that could potentially hurt the feelings of the world around you or people in your life. The beginning of Capricorn season becomes a prime time to solidify what you want, to say it loudly and proudly, until January 7th. Make the changes. Make the space in the world for you that has felt closed off, whether by the world or by you. You're not sensitive to what the world has to say, or what they think, or what a partner has to say, or what they think, or a job has to say, or what they think. You have a clear mission. You have clear objectives here with this Sagittarian card. You want to change the way you navigate. Your life. And I think because typically there are so many people plugged into your energy, you always have to give these big explanations for why. And it's smart and it's necessary, because you can't bring people along, the lovers, Gemini energy, if the people don't understand. But the beginning of Capricorn season for you becomes a couple weeks to, the world is so distracted and you've been holding back because the Sagittarian Jupiter and Gemini, Sagittarian Jupiterian energy has created so much distance between you and the world, that the demand for your energy right now is so intense, consistently intense. The demand from the world for your energy, for your words, for your essence is so intense right now that you have the upper hand all year long. And so just a little drop of your energy creates this ripple of abundance. And so there isn't this intense pressure to explain, and you don't have to spend so much time trying to make people understand. There's also so much information. Everyone's so distracted. They're so overwhelmed. And so it becomes the perfect energy for you to slide through the cracks towards what you desire and what you need unscathed. with a little less energy than you typically would exert. And so again, you know, some of you are already in, you've already put it out there, you're already going bigger, but there's more here. Like the Sagittarian energy is so abundant. It's like, you know, it obviously can overdo things. It can ask for too much. It can, you know, push the limits, but you'll know when you've pushed those limits. Right now, the Sagittarian energy says, go bigger, go bigger. You're thinking small, push further. What, create the structure for this thing and don't limit yourself. Open it up. I know it seems bigger than you may think you can handle, but it's not. You need to open up the possibilities for yourself. Once you do that, I will fill in the space with how this will work. I will give you these very raw, resourceful methods for how to manage and how to navigate. I will also pull in the people, because there's a part of you that is held back because you need to let people play roles where they can take this further. You can't take it as far all on your own. Nobody, no man is an island, right? So that's how this energy can get stuck, by thinking, you know, I've got to do it all by myself, and you end up on an island. But when you want to expand something, you want to grow it, you want to take it to a new place, you want to take it to far places, you've got to trust people to believe in you, believe in the vision. It's hard to trust, I understand. But that's because you don't believe. And it's because you have fear, which is natural, and it will come back consistently. But you have an opportunity again from now until January 8th to take some very necessary risks with people, to take things further, to expand things. And it requires you to, to trust the connections that you have, that you're calling in, that you're bringing in. Not from a naive place, right? This energy is always ready for war. So it's not that you're so trusting that you just lay it all out there for you to get fucked over. No, you trust with the knowing that war could break out at any moment, and you've got to be ready to win it, not be in it, to win it, right? So it's trusting with this protection of yourself and of others as you build, as you create, as you take things to the next level, as you listen to the universe tell you, I'm happy with what you've done so far. One, if you don't change this, you're going to get bored out of your mind. Two, there are more people that you need to reach with whatever it is that you're doing. And I'm literally showing you the range of where this can go. I just need you to lean into it. Let the path open up to you as you believe that there's a larger demand here. Yeah? This is also a time in love where you can change. Sometimes it feels like the stories that you tell yourself in love are the only truths, and that makes sense because the forcefulness of the messages that come through is not something that anybody else could really penetrate. It's too fast, it's too real. But for a moment with Mercury and Sagittarius direct, you really want peaceful progress within your romantic connection, within your relationship. You understand that if you play games, mind games, if you're letting fear and a lack of trust dominate this connection instead of focusing on the growth, the development, the forward progress, the stability, the blessed opportunity to be connected, the financial potential, the care that is there, if you focus on that, the shadow side of your mind that loves to dominate and keep things from feeling right, perfect even, that energy will dissipate. Mercury in Sagittarius wants you to feel the utopia of love and not fight it, which means you have to look at what you're doing today, not what the other person is doing. Look at what you're doing and work backwards from that. Allow yourself to receive love, and be trusting, even if it's, sometimes I think it's the utopia itself that feels unreal. It's like, this needs to feel flawed to feel real. Let yourself experience the utopia. Okay, let's talk about this obsessive 8th house energy of Capricorn season. Once the sun enters Capricorn on December 21st, you need to be more strategic with your decisions, with your energy. If you thought you were being calculated before, you need to double that energy. Because every word you speak and every action you take is either pushing finances away from you or it's attracting them. And there's a very fine line, and it's really easy without intentionality to be blindsided by the expectation of that the world begins to have on you. It's easy to unleash a sense of pride that isolates you and the world around you, because you forget how sensitive everyone is, and that sensitivity that the world around you possesses is what either makes people want to pay you or makes them want to fire you. So going into this hermit mode and doing the work quietly behind the scenes and being as helpful as possible and as healing as possible with your energy is the way to go. There's nothing else to focus on. And being as dope as possible without being a jerk, right? Like, if you, right now, Capricorn season, you have this sensual touch that no one else can tap into for the next month. And you also have a wealth of underground interests that can bring out a sense of pride because you know something, because you know something's cool, right? Think about how to be a pioneer with the energy that you have. I think that pride is a mask for not having a real strategy about how to bring things out in the world that are influential, because they are underground and you get the chance to bring it to light. It's no doubt that your energy is influential, but how much you could be bringing in, how much you could be attracting, is completely dependent on the way that you reveal. The product, the idea. How many people are you hurting with this reveal? And how many people are seeing you as an opportunity? Are you smacking people in the face with the opportunity, or are you attracting? Maybe you want to attract this negativity, or maybe your subconscious is sabotaging you, because as much as you get to play games with the world, the divine, the energy will reverse that energy back on you to show you everyone's shadow has to face the divine. And the divine is going to tell you in the funniest of ways how your shadow is not benefiting you in the ways that you think. And don't be hard on yourself, because the 8th house is a sense of pride that you can't see. It likely is coming from a sense of hurt or a lack of trust for the world around you, for people, and so you feel like you have to come out swinging, you know? But what if you get really delicate with yourself and you let people hurt themselves with their own words and their own negativity towards you, because they end up making themselves look like pieces of shit because you're so soft, you're so considerate, you're so thoughtful, you're so helpful. They just look like haters. It's a hard balance, because what they are doing, it does hurt you, and so it feels like you've got to defend yourself, but the softness is the protection. These underground skills, resources, products, ideas are meant to be cultivated into something. And they are very attractive. Anything new coming into light, you become magnetized to it, because it's like, what is that? It's the birth of something, the birth of a child. And so don't let this warring energy be what gets polluted as soon as it is born. Be soft with the child, be soft with the baby, so that the baby has soft life, abundant, productive, impactful, soft life. Let the energy of the world protect this baby, because you've created a film of emotional protection that it can feel when something is off, when someone is off. And the new moon in Capricorn is that emotional protection that you create for yourself, and it's very quiet in voice but loud in energy. Don't be pulled under by these snakes that want to pull you out from a place of safety. Don't give in. Don't react to their trolling, because you'll realize your reaction creates value for them. It validates them. It gives them a platform. Don't. You're moving forward. You know how to get your angers out behind the scenes. You know how to nurture yourself, take care of yourself. You know how to heal with the right people behind the scenes so that your things are not polluted and you're not giving your power away to people who are just waiting on you to fuck up your own shit. They wish so badly that you would make the wrong move, say the wrong thing, do the wrong thing. You think you're so righteous. You think you're so valuable, right? They're pulling you out because they want you to present yourself as. They want you to work against what you're doing, what you're building. Your own wealth, they want you to work against it because they can't. You won't make the wrong move right now. You're too smart. So if they can pull you to cause you to say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing, then they have found a way through this really strong strategy that you have. And all of this really does feel triggering as hell, because Venus is currently in Aquarius and your growth is so quick, it's so far reaching, it's so abundant, that it's like, why do people, why are people like this, right? Why is the world like this, right? It's very Sagittarian energy, like, because Sag, this is just how the world works, okay? But Sagittarius can spend their whole lives, our whole lives, wrapped up in the fact that the world freaking sucks, that people can freaking suck. And it just impacts them. They just can't believe, our spirits can't process how the world can be. So you've got to create art, you've got to be in this war, you've got to keep fighting it, right? That's the energy. You find purpose in the fight against the wrongdoers. But when Venus enters Pisces on January 2nd, your 10th house gets activated, the Capricorn house, and you realize that you want more money, you want to have more experiences, you want to have more things, you want to have more time away from the job, which means, as much as it's triggering to know that the world can suck and people can suck, you can't spend your energy there. You can acknowledge that, and you can shift the majority of your energy away from what sucks and what you don't have and towards what you do want. The Magician, the Two of Wands, and the Wheel of Fortune. And you have a lot of wants, and they start to become louder than what you don't have. It starts to become louder than the negativity. You really want to experience the abundance of what you have. And that becomes the most important thing. So you finally start to take this energy, physical energy that you have, inspired energy that you have, and you take it to reinvent yourself. You take the opportunity to learn something that will put you on a higher level with whatever it is that you're creating, building, working on. The Magician wants to become equipped with against something that can make him untouchable, against something that is currently touching him that he does not want to touch him. Even if it's just his words and how he speaks. He doesn't like the energy that he's feeling and experiencing from the world around him, so he becomes the magician. He becomes the one in control, the influencer, he has the solution for whatever it is that he needs. He goes and he finds it and he takes control back. He takes the attention back and puts it back on himself. Even if he has to go far away from where he's been to reinvent the whole experience. Because he knows once he does that, there's a flow of energy that should feel right and should feel good. That he can tap into at any time. And the more skilled he becomes, the more distance he creates between himself and any energies that would like to stop the flow of this abundance. This is also starting on January 2nd. Time for you to stand in the light. Time for you to move forward and to sit in the abundance of what you've built. Yes, there will be a desire to go further in the long term, but in the moment currently, Venus says stand tall, confidently in this attention, so that people can see you fully. Because right now, they feel like you have something to hide. And you feel that from the world around you this Capricorn season. But the only time this energy can really stand in the way of great things is when you forget that everybody has something to hide. You're not the only one who has secrets or a private life. Maybe even some dark desires, maybe even some intense desires for power. You're not the only one who has that. The only time it can make you feel bad or crazy or people can guilt you is when you forget that everyone has these desires. Yours are just on display at the moment for everybody to see. Sit comfortably in that reality. Because people can make you feel weird for having power. And you can feel weird about it because you don't let yourself have it. But this is a moment where you're allowed to have it. You're being called to have it. And they're expecting you to completely embody it without this weirdness, without this guilt, this self-destructive energy. No, embody the power. They're going to see you as how they're going to see you. And maybe be a little bit vulnerable. Let people in just a little bit. Give them a little bit that they can connect with you on. But embody the power, because guess what? You have it. And you get to depict the story that gets told about how you show up. So don't let this extreme pull of the people around you because you're finally in the light make you self-destruct. It's okay to be prideful about where you have reached. Happy about it, even. It's okay to feel victorious. It's okay to have a bit of ego. It's okay. That ego will actually protect you from people who would love to test your strength, who would love to see where the gaps are in this plan and strategy that you have. That ego shows them that they don't want to mess with you. Mars is currently retrograde in Leo until January 6th. Your mind is working in your favor very quickly, and you've used it to open up new paths for yourself in your immediate environments. On January 6th, Mars will shift back into Cancer, and it's time to shift focus. I know those new environments have opened up and you want to explore them. But for a moment, the material needs your attention. Again, for a while. Mars in Cancer requires you to have this almost perfect life. The second house is your financial value being based on how much stability you currently possess. So these pursuits where you wanted to run here and go here and go here, it's time to pull back. Don't keep rushing forward with those pursuits. You've already opened up some of them, you've already made some new connections, but they're not ready to solidify just yet. That was a glimpse into how much further you can go if you continue to try to open up those pathways that you could over the past couple of months. You'll be premature. Focus on what you have right now, which is a lot. Focus on the resources, focus on the connections, focus on the opportunities that you have right now. Don't try to reach for more. Just stand very tall in the opportunities that you currently have, in the love that you currently have. Because it feels like there's a retraction of readiness from the people around you, but also you. This Cancer energy is slowly about building bonds, whereas Mars in Leo has allowed you to just quickly, swiftly, with your slick words, open up new worlds of opportunity for yourself with one conversation. That has, again, opened up great doors for you. Mars in Cancer is going back into this desire for a certain amount of wealth and stability. And knowing that everyone's aware of what their connection to you can open up in terms of your wealth and your stability, and that they're not just going to give you that. They need to feel like they have a real relationship with you, which takes time to build. It takes a slow, emotional seriousness to build. It takes a natural view from them of your abundance and worthiness, and that is not something that you can pitch to them. It's something they have to see within you and decide if they feel like your energy is worth their time and investment, and that you should not impose this on anyone. Let them come to you. So whereas you could chase and you could go and you could move quickly, no more. It's time to get your worth up. And it's time to get back into this game of building financial wealth with how you present yourself, because when people see you, they are assessing that, and whether they want to stand next to you, invest in you, spend time with you, be your friend. All of those natural realities of why people create community around you. And maybe it's not just based off of wealth. Maybe it's based off of something that you're bringing to others, to the world at large. Mercury enters Capricorn on January 8th. And that Mars in Cancer, Mercury in Capricorn does become a really helpful restructuring conversation for you. It's those secret truths about people. And it can feel like you run into it if you don't know this, right? If you don't know to slow down, it can feel like you run into a wall with the opportunities that you wanted to chase. Whether you run into it or you instinctively realize this, Mercury in Capricorn brings you back to a focus on what you want. It brings you to an energy where you can use again, that underground flare to feed your desires. And as you do that, you're very quietly building up this valuable thing for you, in all of the ways, in ways that make you feel good about it, in ways that feel more impactful to the people around you. That might be a part of it as well. It's like, how much are you really pouring in? Let's do a quick assessment again of how much of this is about you looking good and you having an impact of people. And let's balance that out behind the scenes. As you find that balance, you can start to pour out this thing. You know, you need to reinvent, you need to innovate. A natural process that you need to do consistently to make sure you're not giving too much without getting too much, to make sure you are giving enough and not taking too much, right? Like, it's that very Aquarian requirement to be a part of humanity. You must be a part of humanity, and even without thinking about it too hard, you have natural expectations that live within your mind around what's truly needed from you to be a part of the whole. The full moon in Cancer on January 13th is you remembering that the work is always the priority. The Eight of Pentacles. And the Hanged Man, sometimes you forget that. And it's okay. Sometimes it's okay to have fun, and it's okay to go off the track a little bit. It's okay to, you know, play around. But under the full moon in Cancer, you need to move. There's a lot of work to be done. There's a lot to build, and it's pretty constant. And you may need to find new ways to do this work. You may need to drop off of some commitments that you've made so that you can work faster, so you can work smarter, so that you can work in a way that actually feels more peaceful. You've reached a level that allows you a sense of peace, and this full moon wants you to restructure things in whatever way needed to ensure that the build continues in a way that's exciting for you, inspiring to you. But no more kinks. There can be no more kinks. There can be no more games. It is about consistently generating. No more kinks, no more games, no more holding myself back, no more standing in my own way. There's too much out on the surface. There's too much out on the surface that needs me to show up for it every single day consistently. There's too much. I need to drop these games and stay on my path. Soon after the full moon in Cancer, the sun will move into Aquarius, and that commitment to the path, that work that you did behind the scenes to restructure and to address the distractions, the self-sabotage, and, you know, just the improvements that you needed to make in your approach, you have completed in a major way when the sun enters Aquarius. And the World and the Four of Wands, you're ready to go. You're ready to bring this relationship out into the light. You're ready to bring this partnership out into the light. You are ready to take that trip. You've cleaned up the finances that are standing in the way, the debts, the lack of strategy in terms of money, the lack of strategy in terms of what's going to get you to this life that you love. And you're ready, and it feels amazing, and you have a lot to say about it, and everyone has a lot to say to you. It's amazing. Do this work for the next month. Go through these ups and downs, navigate these power struggles, strategize, so that when the world opens up to you completely, you can enjoy it knowing that you know how to protect yourself, you know what you need, you know what you want, and you know exactly how to go about it. I'll talk to you more in Aquarius season. Gemini, love you. In the meantime, you can schedule private and birth chart readings with me through the link in the description, and the Capricorn season playlist Height is out now on Apple Music. The link's in the description. Talk to you next month. Bye.